stack 'em all up right here.
What up, y'all? DCFAYGOGUY. Today we are taking a look at Big Hoodoo's Asylum, which came out last Friday. I've actually had a good week now to listen to it. Listened to it a few times. I did listen to it once at the Gathering. And let's go ahead and drop our review for it. That is the front. That is a pretty fucking sick looking album cover. I like that a lot. If you haven't been able to notice, that is actually Dope Doubler there. That's kind of cool. That's really cool to me. Which is funny because actually one of the guys, or one of the juggalos at the Big Hoodoo seminar asked him if he was getting away from the Big Hoodoo persona per se. And leaning more towards Dope Doubler, because I guess this album had less of a Big Hoodoo feel to it, which I would kind of agree compared to Crystal Skull. There's less mentions of the Jinx and everything, and a lot of the tracks in Crystal Skull had like that like pixie dust kind of sound of like, gives you the effect of like black magic, I guess, or of hoodoo or whatever. But there's not a lot of that in this at all. There's not many songs that I would kind of feel like are portraying the Big Hoodoo persona. And yet you look at this album cover and I don't know necessarily how I feel about that. It looks like Big Hoodoo's getting ready to inject Dope Doubler with some shit. So I don't know. Take what you will from that album cover. It is sick nonetheless. The biggest disappointment with this album for me, when we get into it, is the case itself. The packaging was a huge letdown for me. But this is the back. It says Big Hoodoo, Psychopathic Records, the copyright information. That's pretty sick too. Strapped on a gurney. But this is the packaging. And I honestly, when I got it, I was kind of like, I felt like maybe this was just for the Gathering. Like maybe they were gonna have a better one, but I think this is it. It's a little fucking, seeing right there, you can't tell, but my fucking CD's catching in there in this crease. But you have this little fold out on the inside. It says Asylum over here. Has your track listing here, which we will use this to look at the track listings, which is the intro titled My Illness, Asylum, Running From My Magic, I Bring Death featuring Young Wicked, The Yard, Maniac Medicine, Boom Boom Piggy, Go Get 'Em, which is technically a Have-Nots, Calm Down, Monster Squad, Psycho Love, Shadows, I've Seen Pain, and The Passage featuring BLAC, or Black, I think is how you say it. Favorite tracks right off the bat: Asylum, Running From Magic's pretty good. I was actually excited to hear that song when I first heard it performed back during the Shockfest tour, which of course they released that single during, or on the Phantom LP when it was released at last year's Gathering. That was when we first heard that song. I Bring Death was different. He says death a lot in that song. It's kind of like a Fuck the World by ICP, how he says I say fuck 93 times. He says the word death a lot in that track, but it's not bad. It's really catchy. The Yard is easily my favorite, as you can tell by the beginning of this video. Go Get 'Em wasn't bad. I'm not sure how I feel about the Have-Nots yet. Calm Down's a really good one. Monster Squad was the shit. Had everybody currently on the Psychopathic rosters in it, minus Blase Rose, because obviously this came out, or this would have been recorded before she was signed. Shadows is a good one. I was excited to hear I've Seen Pain. I was a little disappointed with the verses on this, but overall I like the track a lot. And The Passage is really good. The Passage is really positive, and I like it a lot. So those are my favorite tracks. That is the track list. Let's go ahead, and this side over here is where the book is hiding. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, see, this shit's all fucking folded up because of this goddamn case. This is what I mean. This is disappointing to me because this is how shit gets fucked up. I don't know. I may try to do some chopping, you know, slice and dice, and see if I can customize this. We'll see how that turns out. If I butcher it up, guess I'll buy another one. But yeah, let's take a look on the inside. Some pretty fucking sick artwork in here. And then it's going to go through and have your production, or your credits, I'm sorry, which has let me start that over, has the producers and, you know, written by who, D-Dubla. And then, yeah, you got your fucking thank yous right there. Special thanks. That's pretty sweet right there. So we'll go ahead and slide this back in here. I'm just utterly disappointed with the packaging. That's really my only complaint about this fucking release. And there's the CD. Asylum. All in all, I like it. It's a really good album. I've heard a lot of positive feedback. I've heard a lot of people say that they like Asylum a lot more than they like Crystal Skull. I'm a little more favoring Crystal Skull. I don't know. I really like Crystal Skull a lot. Not saying that this isn't any good. I like it a lot, but I do like Crystal Skull a tad smidget more. But this is about Asylum. Great album. I would suggest picking it up, even though the packaging kind of sucks. But this is something I'd like to see them re-release with better packaging for sure. That's really my biggest complaint right now, is the packaging. But other than that, I give it a really high rating, 4 out of 5. It's a great album. I love it. I'm actually trying to balance listening to this and listening to the other stuff that came out of The Gathering. But I'm definitely finding myself coming towards those tracks. I'm usually jumping back to Asylum, The Yard, Calm Down, Monster Squad, Shadows, I've Seen Pain, and The Passage. Those songs right there are my go-to songs. But I'm not having any reason to skip. One thing I should point out real quick, since we're still under 7 minutes, we're approaching 7 minutes, is Boom Boom Piggy. He did say that that's going to be the first music video off of this album. So I wanted to throw that out there. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time.